So guys, today I have a guitar review for you, and this is another guitar that's really affordable, it's very high quality, but this is sort of a brand that I think is a bit under the radar. Even though this is a guitar that's been out for several years, I have not seen a lot of people talking about it. This is the guitar right here, and this is a Slick SL54, and for only about 240 bucks, you can get this guitar. It's really unique and really different. Let's check it out. So guys, I bet a lot of you are already familiar with the Guitar Fetish company, the guitarfetish.com website and so forth. And they sell a bunch of different guitar-related stuff. They have like the Xavier brand of guitars, they have the Slick brand of guitars like this, and then they have all the GFS products, so like pickups and hardware and all kinds of different stuff for modding guitars. They even have blank guitar bodies if you want to build your own guitar. But now the Slick guitars, it's named for Earl Slick. This is sort of his signature brand that's sold through Guitar Fetish. And it's pretty unique actually. I can only think of a few other people like Zach Wild with Wild Audio, and of course Eddie Van Halen with the EVH guitars. May he rest in peace. Those are, really the only other people I can think of where they have their own signature brand of guitars. Earl Slick, of course, is a legendary studio and touring musician. I think he's mostly known for the work he did with David Bowie back in the 70s, but of course he's done a lot of other projects. And I think back in about 2014, 2015, they started this new Slick brand of guitars. Now, like I said, this is the SL54, and it's sort of a traditional Strat shape single humbucker. It's got some really unique features that I'll go through in a second, but I should mention with the Slick guitars, they have a whole bunch of different models of guitars, so different body shapes and so forth, and I'll put some links down in the video description below if you want to check out the different models they have. Now, spec-wise, this has an ash body, maple neck, rosewood fretboard, 22 frets, it's got a 25.5-inch scale length, and a 43mm nut. Now the pickup down here, right, we've got a single humbucker pickup. This is the Earl Slick proprietary brand of pickups that they put in here. Now this is an Alnico 5 pickup. Now when it comes to the hardware, they've got brass, and more brass. We've got a brass volume knob here, brass strap buttons. There's even brass on the tuning machines, and a pretty heavy-duty brass bridge and tailpiece down here. And this is really interesting. I've actually never seen anything like this before. It's a brass wraparound bridge and tailpiece that's recessed into the body. Okay, now there's a few more really cool features of this guitar. In particular, the way they did the finish on the body is really unique. But we want to know how this guitar sounds, of course. So I'll go ahead and plug this in to my Fender GTX 100. I'll go through a few different presets from there. It's a great amplifier, especially for recording. And real quick, guys, if you enjoy videos like this and you enjoy checking out cool, unique, affordable guitars and you have not already subscribed, please consider subscribing right now. All right, guys, I can tell just by the way the neck feels that this thing is going to be really nice to play. So let's go ahead and get this thing plugged in and check out how it sounds. Alright guys, so what do you think of the tone of this guitar? I gotta tell you, from playing it, it's a very, very responsive guitar. And I would say tone-wise, this guitar really only has one tone. You don't have a lot of options. There's no tone knob, only one pickup and so forth. But the tone that it has is really nice. It's got some nice harmonics, I think sort of upper, very high-end, rich harmonics in particular that are really nice. And if you want to play all your Zakk Wylde licks on here and do a bunch of pig squeals, those are going to jump out really nice. Now one thing I definitely want to mention is weight-wise, this is a pretty heavy guitar considering how simple of a guitar it is. I weighed this and it came in at 8.6 pounds. So it definitely feels pretty substantial, but it also balances really, really nicely. Now the other thing I noticed while playing this is how nice the frets are. These are finished really nicely. They're even nicely polished and everything. And for a guitar that's in the $200 to $300 range, I mean, these frets seem more like frets that you'd find on a $1,000 guitar. So I love the sound. I love how it plays. The neck, again, the frets are nice, but the neck itself is very comfortable. It's sort of a blend, I'd say, between a C and a D shape. It's got the roundness of a C shape, not too much shoulder here. But at the same time, it's got sort of a flatness of a D shape, I think. Now, obviously, with the single pickup and no tone control, this is not going to be a super versatile guitar. You're not going to be able to get a wide range of tones out of it. But if you like the tone that it has, and if you want a guitar that is just a no-nonsense, you know, straight-ahead rock machine, I think this is a really, really good choice for that. Now, there's a couple other things I want to mention. Let's talk about the finish here for a second. So as you can see, this is kind of a aged relic sort of finish, but it's not, I guess you'd say, like a traditional kind of relic. This almost looks like the edges have been sandblasted or something. But what they do with the finish on this guitar is first they just put a stain on the wood, and then they spray it with automotive paint, and then they sand that down. So it leaves it with a very thin satin-like finish. And what's really cool is you can actually still see and feel the wood grain in here. So, you know, the pores in the wood are still open and everything. So this finish is not going to choke the wood very much. It's still going to let it breathe. So I think that actually contributes a lot to the tone of the guitar. And in particular, when you play this guitar not plugged in, it's acoustically very loud. Now the other thing I want to mention is the bridge down here. And basically, this particular guitar that I have is a few years old. And since then, they have changed the bridge to now they have a Strat style trim on it, but it has a big brass block, sustain block on the back of the trim. And I believe it also has brass saddles. But again, I'll put some links in the video description if you want to check out what their current version of this guitar is. But I believe that's the only change. But guys, again, for 240 bucks for this guitar, I mean, this is a screaming deal. And I love the fact that they just, you know, they didn't make just another $240 Strat copy. I mean, this is really a unique guitar. I got to give a big shout out to my buddy Chris for letting me borrow this for the video. I don't own this. I've actually wanted to play one of these guitars for a while, but I just haven't had the opportunity. I kind of got two cool things in 1 week that I've been looking for a while. Got to play one of these guitars. I also got the soundtrack on vinyl of one of my favorite movies, The Wizard of Speed and Time. Only took me like 20 years to find this. But what do you guys think of this guitar? And I want to ask one more sort of favor of you guys. I feel like I've kind of overlooked the Guitar Fetish products for a long time. I have done a few things with some of their pickups that were really cool, but I want to start getting into checking out more of their products. So if you guys have any special requests, anything from, you know, like the Guitar Fetish products, or the Xavier guitars in particular that you want me to check out, go ahead and leave that stuff in the comments section below. All right, guys, that's it. Check out, video description for links for the guitar, and I'll even have a link to my my new instructional video, which is down there. I've got a 50% off link. I'll also put my social media stuff down there as well. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you soon.